The White House Press Secretary Caitlin McEnany said there is no harmful effect that could have ever been done to the Biden transition team because the President Donald Trump is simply invoking constitutional rights by going through the procedures bound by the law of the land. That's what it is about. If there was any speculated argument, especially coming from Democrats or his transition team, represented by Lamar Alexander, who just really actually wants to gain access to the classified information for the peaceful transition or transfer of power, by suggesting that President Donald Trump is blocking the progress by withholding key information critical to the procedure, then that's not right. In response to this type of question, she completely rejects the notion that President is being a bully who's been abusing the power of a bully pulpit. He's just actually he is just actually weighing different options on the table. Because this is the procedure that is defined in the Constitution, and he is just simply upholding the rules and the regulations that are fundamentally enumerated in the document. That's it. And she also completely downturns any type of suggestion there could have been any influence coming from the White House, either from President Donald Trump or his advisors or legal counselors, to change the mindset of the Emily Murphy, who's been in charge of GSA, General Services Administrator. Because she is really the person who could ascertain the winner of the presidential election officially, and that would be the beginning of the new era. Then the president-elect and his team wouldn't be accessible to the clandestine and the confidential information and documents, very important to the smooth transition and seamless investment in the power. But that procedure is really, right now, is in jeopardy for sure because of the invocation of the legal rights demanded by the Team Trump. However, she's very desperate to defend the legitimacy of a president. Again, there is the constitutional process is going on, quote unquote. That's what it is about. The whole procedure is fundamentally bound by the lawful action. There is nothing illegitimate or treasonous. I don't know. That's the real claim. The current White House is a very busy justifying and legitimizing this blockage and obstruction of the process. If there is any type of opportunity cost that should be paid because of this impediment put out by their own self-centered cronyism, then deal with it. That's really the argument. If there is any type of, if Americans should be undertaken with difficulties and hardships solely incurred by the Trump's obsession with the power, then they should actually acknowledge them, and they should pay the price for that. That's a really kind of sentiment. Deal with it. What can you do about it? Just accept it. She really refuses, she declines to recognize any type of illegal or improper engagement with the GSA's head or top officials. Just simply put in simply with an eye to putting the screws on them. No, there is no external efforts to change their viewpoints or alter their schedule, because they were actually conducting whatever overview strictly bound by or strictly in concert with their internal schedule. The timetable will be given out and the whole procedure will be processed following from their own guidelines, but there is no clout or influence exerted from the White House. None of officials inside the White House would ever blur the line, simply wants to change their viewpoints. No, that type of exercise of illegitimate power could be almost inconceivable following from her opinion. If you ever actually listen to her own testimony, this type of pernicious efforts to harm the nature of democracy could be almost intolerable and unacceptable. That's what was given. She just completely rules that type of factors out of the equation. There is no serious efforts from President Donald Trump to pull strings as a puppeteer to change the final scenario or verdict that could only be from the head of the GSA. No. And the president is very willing to make the rightful recognition when the time is ripe, but he is right now just simply allowing himself to go through illegal venues to redeem his rights within the boundary of the Constitution. And because of that, there are litigations going on, and particularly one single county whose legitimacy and the finality of elections were given illegally, according to the Team Trump. These legitimacy and finality will be challenged because the whole case will be brought to court and the litigation is going on to question the soundness of this finality, especially from the Wayne County in Michigan. Because there are mass mail-in ballots that were very dubious. They were from dubious origins. That means whose validity should be examined thoroughly before we could actually give out a victory to Joe Biden, as election authorities in the Wayne County would like to do in alliance with the Michigan's Democratic Governor Gretchen Whitmer. That's really the voice resonating inside the White House at this moment. Because there could have been illegal ballots that were not supposed to be counted equally or tabulated with a great weight. Those ballots should probably have never carried the weight because they were not at all legitimized or validated or justifiable or recognizable ballots. Some of them are just added with no proper authorization. Then these whole procedures should be questioned and inquested and inquired. There should be a probe into the whole process. Before that, no ascertainment can be given out. From the state of Michigan, the GSA's ascertainment procedure is not within the range and the scope of a president's power. That was suggested by the White House secretary, because she wants to indicate that President is a friend of the rule of law, who's been respecting the sovereign autonomy of the GSA, because it's really up to GSA as a director, who's been in charge of that department, that organization, who could actually, process relevant information to reach the final conclusion. So there should be no intervention improper enough to dismantle the authority of that organization.